cheers to kicking Gollum's ass.
What an unbelievable experience that was. That guy's a turd, and I have officially erased him from the annals of Schmodown.
You've claimed your name in the Schmodown forever. You own a wheel slice now.
I own a wheel slice, and you know what? I had Scott Mantz sign it for me 3 times. Just kidding, he wouldn't. He scurried away like Gollum.
I hope we get to sign his tombstone one day. That'd be nice.
That's morbid as shit, man.
It sure is. As is everything that I do.
All right, guys, so we're here right now to give you a little behind-the-scenes curtain. We want to show you our sausages.
They want to see us make sausages.
You want to see how they're made, so that's what we're going to do, guys. If you stay tuned, you're going to get the inside scoop. Do you want to know how I was feeling during that match after I kicked Scott Mantz's ass? What about before the match?
Or how about maybe what it was like during the match? Maybe what it felt like when Scott Mantz spun movie release dates.
Yeah, it was an unpleasant feeling. I had a lot of thoughts in that moment.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah. I felt a lot of things.
To be honest, I was 1-2 going into that match. I needed a singles win. And anyway, guys, we're going to talk about this. So there'll be a full discussion about it. Just stay tuned if you want to see our sausages. You just donate to the Patreon, and that's what we do. So donate $1, you get free a video every month, and we'll talk about Scott Mantz and Gollum. We love Scott Mantz, really. Of course we don't want him to die.
It's always just me, Ben, and our good friend
Nick Cage.
All right, so well, I mean, cheers to actually winning. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, to the match. It was good. It was
a crazy match.
It was a necessary win.
It was an incredibly necessary win. I mean, you're never really sure what kind of Scott Mantz you're going to get when you walk into the ring, in the Schmodown ring. You know, I mean, he is without a doubt one of the strongest competitors in the league, just because the dude lives and breathes movies. Excuse me, I don't know if there's something in my eye or what's going on here.
He's obviously, people know Mantz. Movie Mantz, Access Hollywood, seen everything.
He's a savant, like a true savant when it comes to movie release dates, movie release months.
He's he can remember months. He can remember months and even weeks sometimes of release years. I've had conversations off camera with Mantz a bunch of times about his process of information and how he remembers things. It's pretty similar to my own, but he does have a savant level quality of remembering, like, Ghostbusters June '84. Like, it's like I don't know what life experience you have to go through to be that many years later, 34 years later, and be able to still remember the month for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, like, whatever. It's beyond me, because for me, with like movie release dates, I'm lucky if I remember the year. I'm usually about a year off. So, talk to me a little bit about the day, man. So, your car got broken into. You just turned 30, and your car got broken into, and you got your the Boss briefcase was stolen. So you were rocking some new swag walking into the ring.
Yeah, it was a real bummer. I this dickless piece of shit went into my jacket.
Just kidding.
Somebody went into my jacket in my gym locker, didn't lock it, found my keys, found my car in the parking lot of the gym, and then opened it, took my briefcase, my actual bag that had my computer, my MacBook Pro, all of my things, a lot of personal information, as well as my Boss briefcase, because they thought there was something of value in there.
I mean, it said the Boss.
It had my custom desk placard. It was a handmade briefcase with the Boss written outside.
Was it unlocked?
My car? Or the briefcase?
No. Was the briefcase unlocked?
The locks don't work.
It's true savage, because no one would ever touch it.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, if I was that guy and I was breaking into someone's car and I saw something that was handmade that said the Boss, I would be pretty much certain that this was like a stealing John Wick's car situation, that I was going to get murdered.
We're coming after you.
That's what I would be. But clearly he didn't think that. Or she. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, and clearly they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I'm not doing shit.
We haven't done anything.
I got a hefty insurance check. I'm happy.
You're good.
So anyway, that got stolen. That was a couple days prior.
Did you feel, but I guess the point was, like, did you feel, I mean, like, we're not very superstitious, you and I, with this game, but did you feel at all like a little off kilter?
Well, I didn't realize that the briefcase was gone until I was getting my things together to go to the match. And it occurred to me right then that the briefcase had been stolen. So I went in. I have a really sweet new Ted Baker briefcase that I got for my birthday that I really like, but it's obviously not gaudy and in character. It's an actual case. It looks like I'm a dickbag stockbroker, not like or whatever. It's a cool bag. It's a really cool bag. I love
Doesn't
it.
look like the guy that owns Greyhound buses.
No, it doesn't. So yeah, I definitely showed up, and I was a little. I mean, I think for me, and I talked to Christian before the match, and what he and I kind of agreed on was just like, hey man, like you gotta win. You need to go in there. You need to be the boss. Christian acknowledges that I am one of the better players when it comes to raw knowledge. He knows this. He's given me a lot of credit for it publicly. So he was just sort of like, you just need to don't have your Draco mishaps where you misanswer a question. He's like, really play your best game, be the boss, win the game. Now I did. I went 12 of 15. Unfortunately, so did Scott.
I'm so we'll get there. So this is an interview, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so you're walking in there, you're feeling a little off. You get in there, fine. You say that you've got to win. You guys both have to win this. I mean, Scott Mantz, his record is abysmal in teams now. Was he 3-5 or something like that? I think it's even worse.
2-5 maybe.
2-5, yeah. So
now
I mean,
2-5.
so now he's basically retired, and his wheel slice is gone at this point. So it's a win-win for both of you guys. You go out there, and as you say, you go 12 of 15. So you're in round one. You go 7 of 8.
Yeah.
Mantz goes 6 of 8.
Now you go 7 of 8.
Oh no, yeah, right. You guys both miss different questions.
Yep.
You guys both go 7 to 8. You go into round 2. You prefer to play from behind, which I think is a very strong.
Oh, it was a strong choice. Yeah.
Mantz spins movie release dates. First of all, in my mind, as your buddy, as your biggest fan, who's out there cheering and getting calmed down by other audience members. I see Scott go 7 of 8 in round 1. I'm like, damn, he's on it, and it was a good round 1. They weren't like softball questions. And then he spins movie release dates, and in my mind, I'm like, shit, like this.
That's 8 points, is what you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's 8 points. At best, it's 8. Obviously, worst case scenario, it's 6.
Yeah, 100%.
What are you thinking?
I have my quick moment. There's a couple things that are going on. The first one is I made a kind of a commitment to myself as the boss. I never, as a character, ever will impulsively or aggressively answer a question. That's what I try to do anyway. I never, ever will slump in my chair. If I think I have the answer, I'll never just like step on the throat. It's calm, cool, and collected. It's business. That's the boss. So like for me, I don't show much emotion. I just sort of smirk like, okay, he's gonna take his best shot. I'm better than this guy. I can win.
Yeah, you can beat him on his best day.
It's a character choice, but it's also like this will be fun because this is a great category for me. So if he happens to miss one, I have a really good shot here. And I'm also thinking, honestly, if I win this match, he's gonna lose after getting his category when I bet him a fucking wheel slice to steal it.
Yeah. No, it was destiny.
Yeah, exactly. So I sort of was like, you know what? I got this. I liked the wheel. There was only 3 or 4 slices that I was not super jazzed on. I felt like I had a really good shot at beating him, even at this point.
So Mantz goes 3 of 4.
Yeah.
He misses 1, which he's off by a lot. Even the audience were all kind of like shocked that he's that far off. Isn't it John Carpenter's?
No, Sam Raimi, Evil Dead.
Oh, Evil Dead. Right.
Yeah.
The original Evil Dead. He's in the wrong decade, I believe.
He said 93, which is the year which I knew was the year of Army of Darkness. That was what I knew.
So it's actually like 82?
It's 81.
81, right.
Yeah.
So it goes to you. You missed the steal, which is a bummer.
By a pretty wide margin, too. I mean, he said 93, I said 86.
86,
it was
right.
81.
Yeah. So you guys are both quite a ways off. Then you go up and spin the wheel. Now what happens? Walk me through this.
Yeah, I get the wheel spin, and I get spinner's choice. And Oscars is on the wheel. A lot of you guys, especially here, the Patreon, the Action Army, you guys know how I feel about Oscars. It's an archival knowledge base. It's not like another knowledge base in movies where there's actual relative questions do not know. It's almost perfect information if you have it memorized. And I don't have every single category every single year ever memorized, but I have a pretty good shot at it.
Yeah, you're pretty damn good at it. So you spin Oscars.
Yeah.
And you end up scoring...
Same as him, 3
exactly,
of 4.
3 of 4.
What's funny is both of us miss each other's steals.
Yeah.
And he's really good at Oscars.
He's very good at
too.
Oscars. I was actually... What was the Oscars question you missed?
It was what was the last Oscar nomination as an actor for Tom Hanks. And this was a crazy one.
We were all very shocked. A lot of people looked it up. I was shocked. Last time he was nominated was for Castaway.
2000. I thought Captain Phillips for sure.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think it was Captain Phillips because I knew that the other guy got nominated. So I was like, maybe it's Sully.
Was it Barkhad Abdi? Is that his name?
Barkhad Abdi.
Yeah, Sully, I knew that he didn't because I remember the movie coming out, seeing it,
Yeah.
and so the only other thought that I could think of was
It's not the Post. You know it's not. You know it's none of those.
the Mantz's guess was The Paper, which made me laugh.
The Paper.
It's like a movie from the '90s with Michael Keaton, but he obviously meant The Post. The other movie that in my mind that I was like, Captain Phillips is my first choice. It's not Sully. I was like, okay, it could be Charlie Wilson's War, but I was pretty certain it wasn't. I was pretty sure that it wasn't. So I just was like, it's got to be. I would never have gotten to Castaway, even if I had an hour to think about it.
You would like no matter what, you're going to talk yourself into some other question. So
yeah, because that's insane, and also not only is that insane, but like it's illogical that Tom Hanks could be as famous as he is, regarded as famously as he is, and not have a nomination in 18 years.
Yeah, and especially regarded in the way that he is.
It defies logic.
It's like Tom Hanks is not like a guy that just does movies. He's a guy that wins Oscars and gets nominated for them. So you miss a movie release date steal. He misses an Oscar steal.
And
basically.
He was just as confused as I was.
Yeah, you guys, and we all were. There was a handful of us in the audience that were just shocked, all competitors. And so we go into the third round. You guys are tied again.
Yeah.
Which I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good.
This was the moment for me that I had two thoughts right here. So the thought one is like, all right, I don't usually miss round 3 questions. But this is a behind the curtain. Show you my sausage right now. A lot of you guys don't know this.
First.
Drew has a tendency and a knack in the team matches to get the 5-pointer. For some reason, I rarely miss a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
But almost 100% of the time when we've gotten a 5, it's because Drew knows the answer. Even as you guys know in the live match, both of those 5-pointers will give him a 1.5 correct in time rate. But he had one of them that I said wrong. The other one he got seconds after. Anyway, so it was for me a little bit of like, I was like, I hope I get my 5 because, I can't afford. But the thing is, with the 5-pointer, as evidenced by the 5-point that Scott missed, the 5-pointer is the most swingy question in all of Schmoedown.
Yeah, it's tough because it's very tough, and it's usually always objectively tough and kind of subjectively tough.
It's very rarely a question like that is a guessable answer.
Yeah.
It's usually like an incredibly obscure, you have to have seen this movie.
Or you have to know the cast of the film very well, or you have to know that year of Oscars very well. Or
exactly.
So your 2-pointer you hit.
Yeah.
And then you miss your 3.
My 3 was the G.I. Jane question.
Which I was like, it's funny, it gets asked, and I wish there was a camera on me because I get this huge smile on my face. I look around, I'm like, he's got this.
Yeah.
And then when you miss it, I was like kind of shocked because I love G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
And I'm actually surprised that I felt like I'd talked to you a lot about this, but apparently I haven't.
Yeah.
But so you miss Vigo, which is, that's a tough question. You had to have seen the movie or have like been obsessed with his career.
Right. He gets his 3. And it comes down to the 5-pointer. Now,
so he misses his 2.
No, he gets his 2 and his 3.
No. Oh yeah, right. He gets his 2 and his 3. You get your 2 and miss your 3, and I'm sitting there like, holy shit.
It's pretty close here because we both know, like, this is the thing. We both know what's going to happen here if I lose this match.
Yeah.
Team action as an entity, we continue because we have this like mythos behind us now. People are excited about the team action vibe, but in reality, you've kind of taken on this life of your own as a Schmoedown star. You've got this whole thing going on, multiple T-shirts, and you got the Merle match and all this stuff coming up. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff. So you have kind of ascended now into this place where whether or not Team Action's winning, or even if you're winning at trivia, it doesn't matter.
Right. It's the character of Dastardly has become this bigger thing. So you're in your mind, you're like, damn. What happens to the boss? What happens to Ben Bateman?
Yeah, it's sort of like you're sort of bigger than Team Action because you lost our last match. So you sort of have your moment right now. And I'm thinking to myself, if I lose, I go to 1 and 3, and at that point, I'd become effectively irrelevant in the league, despite the fact that, as per usual, an 80% accuracy rate in this match. Like, I was like pretty goddamn like that's 80% is close to the best rate in the whole league as you get. So like I do that a lot, and it doesn't really get me any credit because at that point I'm 1 and 2. The record is everything. It's just like rings in the NBA.
Yeah, it is. So he misses his 5.
I get my 5 first. Remember?
Right. So you get your 5 first, which is this Crazy Oscars question.
Yeah, so here's
which I hear Oscars and I'm immediately very, not relieved, but just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, when I hear Oscars, I think it's like Rocco when he hears Westerns.
Yeah. He gets a little...
Yeah.
That's
Minds.
not you.
I was going to make that joke, but
Roca.
I didn't. Yeah.
That's his penis.
Yeah. So it's funny because I remember Kalinowski in a match a long time ago got the Spencer Tracy question. Who was the other actor other than Tom Hanks to win back-to-back Best Actors?
Right.
There's a couple sort of Oscars things you learn.
Right, like what's the first ever Oscar? What beat out Gone with the Wind?
Exactly.
Or, you know, like things like that. So, what beat out Gone with the Wind?
Well, it won. So,
I know.
Yeah. But it beat out Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
So there are things you learn. And one of the things you learn is that there's only 3 movies ever that have the 5 big wins. Picture, director, actor, actress, and writing. And everybody kind of knows this. So they asked the question, and I asked them to repeat because I was thinking like, okay, I think that's pretty common knowledge. So there's a 5-pointer, like I was like, is writing the 5th category? And I was like, so I had to repeat because I was like, I don't want to outsmart myself here. I'm pretty sure the answer, I knew all 3. It happened one night, Silence of the Lambs, and One Flew the Cuckoo's Nest. And so I had to take a second, and I was like, but it's got to be that. So you go with it, you get it, everybody's relieved. The one thing that I do have to say that I do want to point out, because I think that question was hard, but I think the far harder Oscars question happened in my actual Oscars round.
Right.
And it was what movie famously beat Citizen Kane the year that Citizen Kane didn't even receive a Best Picture nomination.
Oh.
It's a John Ford movie from 1941 called How Green Was My Valley, which I've never seen, but I know it because I know the list.
Yeah.
And I was able to get that as a 2-pointer. And that to me was like the ultimate, you know your shit because you get that.
I think that Hanks question is a 3-point question as well. I think that's a tricky ass 3-point Oscars question. And I think it's a 5-point, or maybe a 3-point Hanks question as well. Tom Hanks.
I could see that being a 5-point question with how
it's a tough question.
With how deep of a cut it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just not at all intuitive.
So Mantz gets his 5-point question, which is it actually like family or
no? It was sci-fi fantasy.
Sci-fi fantasy, and it's a Harry Potter question, but it's about like a very, very tertiary character.
I think what it actually was what Harry Potter veteran plays such and such character in the Chronicles of Narnia, right?
I can't remember.
I believe it's in the Chronicles of Narnia what Harry Potter veteran plays this character.
And he guesses Richard Harris?
He gets his Richard Harris.
Right.
Which is a totally reasonable guess.
Yeah, it's a good guess.
I can't remember what the answer was.
I can't either.
But I didn't know the answer. So when they reveal it, I definitely kind of lost it. And it was emotional for me. Like, I love the Schmoedown. I really want to win. I really want to be a great singles player. And, like, was teetering there, and that was the best. That's as close to the best game as I'm going to play. Rarely are you going to go into a game and you're going to miss 3 out of 15.
Yeah.
Like 80% is a very hard thing to pull off on a consistent basis, and like that was against another 80% player. He just missed the right question for me.
Absolutely. So I mean, how do you feel? How does that make you feel, man? When do you think people are going to give you the credit that you deserve? When do you think people are going to actually look at you and be like, because you are answering at an 80% rate. A lot of other competitors get looked at with their numbers and they are on bad teams or they're not even competing or their teams have never even been in #1 contenders matches, but they sit there and they praise them days on end.
Yeah, I think after I beat Roga, that'll be a big moment. And make no mistake about it, folks, I'm going to crush Joe.
He's gonna retire when you destroy him.
I have never been more excited or motivated to beat someone than this match. This is. I mean, every match I've played, I've been excited for. Even the live matches, the Shirewolves. But this is different.
Yeah, but this is different.
This is Roca.
We've got top 10 action as a rivalry, as a feud. Now we've got action in the Horsemen. Like it's this whole thing. And then also just fucking Roca.
It's gonna be insane. He's gonna be so hopped up.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be doing like Chinese finger meditation.
He's gonna be doing his like So that's pretty exciting. I think. I think after I beat him, I mean, when I get a belt, obviously, but I think if I can beat a big, high visibility player like him, I think I'll get some after this Mantz match, probably, but not enough.
I mean, there's some deep pulls in there. There's some really deep cuts in there that I think will get you some street cred.
Yeah, I think the last detail that we haven't talked about is the wheel slice challenge.
Yeah, like you told me about it, I think the night before or the day of, and I was like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I kind of had this idea that
you got to put a ridiculous picture of yourself on there.
Yes, I will.
Like the one Like maybe the one of you holding the guns from Fuddruckers or something.
Well, because I don't know if you noticed this. Maybe you have, but there was like the one time we showed up to do the Jerry Maguire entrance, we didn't do it. And I've got the really bad 90s like Maguire sunglasses, and they're kind of thin and like slanted.
Yeah.
And they like, there was a shot of me with my arms crossed, and I'm like doing like this.
Yeah, they
and
love
I have
that
thin
one.
glasses, and like I have like a double chin.
Yeah, you're like, brr.
It's like the worst picture of me I've ever seen.
They love using that
and
picture.
they use it in everything.
Yeah.
And so
you want that on the slice?
No, but I said to Christian afterwards, I was like, fucking Christian, you listen to me. If that fucking picture of me with that fucking face is on the slice, I'm gonna shove my foot up someone's ass. I was like, he was like, just send me a fucking picture. What are you getting so mad about? He's like, just tell me what you want on the wheel.
Well, it's so funny because like they change the picture for every single thing we do, but somehow that one always seems to show up.
I don't know
again.
why.
I don't either.
You've noticed it, you son of a bitch.
Of course I have. It's hilarious. I'm like, what?
You like look at it. You look at it. You're like, God, I'm handsome.
God, I look great in this. Look at me right behind Christian's head as he's announcing.
It's terrific.
Oh man. Well, congratulations. I don't have any more scotch to cheers you with, but hell yeah, man. I mean, it looks like action is on its way, even though we might be, I mean, this is a singles run. We're separated, but we always support each other. Mantz is he's a team action foe, so it was good to see you take him down. And Mantz is good, man.
I do love Mantz, by the way.
Me too. Mantz is awesome.
I'm a big fan of Scott. It was a great match, and it was a good feeling to beat him in such a hard-fought match and to take that slice from him like that. Obviously, I feel a little bad because obviously that's a big part of his sort of schmodown thing. But I just,
movie release dates.
You gotta assert yourself if you really want to. If you want to make that lasting impression, I want to be on the wheel every week. So
I mean, you get FaceTime every week. Well, not every week. Every time movie release dates is up there.
Till Levine decides to try to take it from me. So.
Which I'm gonna kill him too. All right, man. Well, is there anything else that we should let the Fine Action Army know, and maybe some of these new Schmodown members?
Well, guys, if you're watching or listening to this for the very first time, we do this every week. A lot of the time, we're doing like behind the scenes stuff with Nick Cage about movie reviews or news, top 5 lists. If you guys are donating $5 a month to the Patreon, which is patreon.com/teamaction, which you're obviously able to watch this, so you donated, then you are able to submit a top 5 list of your own and have us critique it. So we've got that coming out every week. And thank you guys so much for the support. This was a great match, and I am really excited to keep going in the singles run. And long live Team Action. Where's the fucking belts?
Yeah, where's the belts? And we could not be more excited and more grateful to have all you new patrons joining the page. So we'll see you next week for our new Team Action video.
Yeah. See you guys.
Bye.